Man, Kevin Holland did so good, man. I was so glad to see that. I expected Chiesa to just wrestle fuck him and submit him late, but Holland was not having it. He lit him up on the feet. Chiesa looked terrible on the feet. He just threw some shots and put his head down, and Holland caught him in a dart stroke. I did not think this was gonna happen, but I was very glad to see it. Was one of my personal highlights. Yeah, Kevin Holland will be ranked, and on to the next fight. Derrick Lewis channeled his inner Jorge Masvidal with a flying knee right off the bat. Oh man, I'm so glad I ended up picking him. I thought he was gonna lose, but when I saw the abs, I knew, okay, that man's dedicated. He's gonna win, and he did so. I predicted him to win in round 1 by a TKO, and man, Derrick Lewis going for a flying knee, man, super necessary. And the celebration afterwards, like that was just hilarious. Was also one of my personal highlights. Dude, also imagine like the balls on this guy, okay? Like, you are on a 3-fight losing streak and you decide to start off a heavyweight fight with a flying knee. We know Derrick Lewis likes throwing crazy shit, but this is the first time it actually was very effective. And man, that was just amazing. Now, Dustin Gaethje putting Poirier out cold. Unfortunately, I was wrong about that one. I thought that Gaethje would lose. And man, he just caught Poirier with a head kick. That was amazing. I feel sorry for Poirier, but happy for Dustin. He's gonna face Islam after he fights Charles. Islam is probably gonna win both, let's be honest here. After that, I could see him retiring. I think this is his last title run. And Poirier, I don't know where to go now. If you're Dustin Poirier, he might go like for the money fights. Hope that McGregor comes back so he can beat him again and make a good back. But I think Poirier is done when it comes to the title picture. He might not retire right off the bat, but I think this is where the competitive era of his career ends. And Blachowicz versus Pereira, man, for the controversy. Watching the fight live, I felt like Jan had taken the second round, maybe even the third, but watching it back, I don't think so anymore. It did look to me like Alex Pereira won after rewatching it, but I wasn't 100% sure, to be honest. I wasn't like all focused. Like, of course, it's a very interesting fight to me. Of course, the nerves and the heart is pumping, so sometimes the concentration is a bit and I can't really score the fights accurately. I felt like Pereira won. Had Blachowicz won, I would have been okay with it. If you scored it for Blachowicz, I understand, or I could see it. I could see it at least. Nevertheless, Pereira, he survived the grappling. He is gonna be very dangerous. It did feel to me that Jan was just not well prepared for the elevation. I mean, Jan was like gassing out bad, especially in round 3. And man, had he gotten that one takedown attempt at 54 seconds in round 2, I think Poatan would have not taken the round and Jan would have won 29-28, 2-1. And he would have been fighting for a title. But no, we're gonna see Poatan probably face Prochaska, which is so amazing, dude. And imagine this fight was for the title. 5 rounds. Like, Blachowicz was not lasting another 2 rounds, I think. I do think we would have had Poatan as our champion. Now for Tony, man, that was just sad. Like, he lost to Bobby Green. It did look like he got a knockdown in round 1. However, I'm not 100% sure if that was damage from a punch or just Bobby being a bit off balance and then being like pushed back by the punch. However, Tony lost. Was probably one of the worst fights to watch, especially as a Tony fan. Even like, I'm not a Tony fan, but that was a bit gross, yeah, not gonna lie. And Tony Ferguson, man, it's time to hang it up. He lost to Bobby Green. He was choked unconscious by Bobby Green. Imagine someone in 2018 on a 12-fight winning streak. Imagine someone told you this guy, Bobby Green, would choke out Tony Ferguson. Man, that's tough. Yeah, he got choked out, and let's not play here. Before he got choked out, he was being styled on by Green. You shouldn't be styled on by Green. It was clear he was gonna win. He got the finish 6 seconds before the fight ended. Was celebrating a bit too hard in my opinion, but this is probably the biggest win of his career. He probably made a good bag, and Tony, it's time to stop. Please hang it up. I hope Dana White won't allow him to fight again. And yeah.
Smash like, smash like, smash like.
This is #1 bullshit.